TRIAS is broken out and gave a great 20 bag opportunity, is likely going to close the week back down closer to the breakout line, exactly as I predicted. MTV, probably about 10 days away from breaking out. Also, Verasity, it's so close, it probably only needs Bitcoin to chill out, consolidate. It doesn't even need Bitcoin to make another all-time high. Verasity is so ready, it's ridiculous. We're going to jive into these charts today. We're not diving, we're jiving. We're going to dive right in and take a look to make your crypto journey more profitable. Check it out, everybody. My name's Tim. This is the cosasverdes altcoin and crypto show where people looking to get massive gains come to make their crypto journey more profitable without dedicating themselves to much more than a couple of hours staring at the charts per week. Altcoin fans looking for that monster ROI almost always watch their gains go down the drain because simply they don't know how to sell. I call those people buyers and prayers. It's the vast majority of new people. What my community does for you, link in the description section, is you can jump on a live call, turn on your mic and your video, even look me in the face and say, hey, Kosa, would you sell here? Would you buy here? Pokemon cards only. I'm not a financial advisor. B, we use Bitcoin and Ethereum technical analysis to add statistical edge to our altcoin 20 bag swing trading methodology. That sounds weird. Check out my library playlist. You'll learn more on that. And C, I try to give you the tools to do this crap yourself while providing day trade alerts within the community so that you can learn by doing and practice for the big game when it's time to sell your altcoins and take those ridiculous gains, laughing all the way to the bank. That's what I am here for. I want to laugh all the way to the bank with these gains. Smash like, leave me a comment for the algo. Please leave that comment, even if it's short, so I can continue making videos for you and new viewers. Watch until the end because I'm going to link you. There'll be one above me and one that way at the end. And those are going to be resources for you to make your crypto journey more profitable. And you should watch them after this video. Let's dive into it because we're about to get boring, most likely. All right, so let's check it out. Let's start with MTV. MTV is, as of 3 weeks ago, I made these weekly candles here. It's following them pretty well. All right. So for a hot second, if you want to dive in, so this is the weekly candle. There's a lot of crap that happens within here, right? A lot of stuff. All right. So let's dive into the hour chart, which started October 18th. I'll kind of block this off. Okay. So October 18th, which starts right here. So within that boring weekly candle, it has really made some moves up, right? And it's making, it looks like it's making a run to break out. And it could break out, but what did I say last video? If you see this thing break out midweek, right? So I'm not saying at the end of the week it squeaks out of closure. That'd actually be good. The next week might dip down, but the week after that, that same week would really fly. But midweek, if you see this really fly above here, that's a great 20 bag opportunity. 20 bag just means selling 10 to 20%. So technically, 10 bag means selling 10% of this one asset, Pokemon cards only of this Pokemon card, and 20 bag means 20%, so that you can buy down lower when you have statistical edge. It means keeping an 80% to 90% hodl position, right? Because altcoins they move like crazy. Anyway, that's what bag means. So it looks like it's making a run on this. It might peek its head, right? If it gets way over this line midweek, not Sunday. Sunday, you probably don't want to do this because it might be squeaking out a weekly closure in which the next week's candle really flies, right? But midweek, even Saturday, if you see it fly like 30% past this line, that's a great 10 to 20 bag opportunity because it's going to close back closer to this line or come all the way down below the line. So, structurally, this looks really good. Even these mountains on the 1 hour RSI, they're getting higher. It looks like it's going to peek its head out. It does, but on a weekly scale, right? On a weekly scale, if it breaks above, that's not going to be a good breakout trade, right? Unless it's Sunday. But even if it is Sunday, a lot of bullcrap happens with Bitcoin in the first hours or day of the week. And even if the candle's going to be green, price is driven down first. It's very, very common. It's very rare that a green week just starts off green and keeps going, right? So just a heads up, regardless of if it peeks its head out, it's likely either going to close here and next week it could come back below. So I don't know if I would be, taking breakout trades of this one asset because of its posturing. Okay. That's MTV. But it could be next week that it really takes off. If it can poke its head out Saturday or Sunday and close the week above here, I'd be good. I would, and so I would have been technically 1 week off. I think next week it'll do that, not this week, but it really looks like this week it might want to do it. So we're getting close. That's what we got for there. Verasity, it's so close. Oh my goodness, it's so close to breaking up. Let's take a look at the daily chart first. I mean, really, it hasn't moved since my last analysis, but I know you altcoin geeks, you just scratching and itching and waiting for a Verasity and Trias and an MTV video. 3 really great assets, actually. So, I mean, that's nothing but good. Let's look at the, yeah, actually the RSI doesn't look great. It is stuck under here, but a lot of times it'll just bust right up here. Maybe not that high. You actually don't want that to happen. But with a Bitcoin, a little pause here, all of this consolidation right under the bullish control zone, it just allows the short-term time frames to reset and become less volatile. So when volatility gets really, really, really low, it needs to expand again, almost like a universe pop, kind of like my background, right? So when a universe, sorry for folks who, don't subscribe to that type of thinking, but think of something, that gets really compressed and it's going to explode, right? There are a lot of ways to think about that. I'm giving horrible analogies on this. Oh my goodness. Well, whatever. This could just be allowing the lower time frames to reset before it goes. So even though it fell under the bullish control zone, it's not getting rejected by the EMA line, right? So I am interpreting this as, well, shoot, you're still not getting rejected by this line, which is unhealthy. I see this as a healthy consolidation under the bullish control zone before you break out. And just like price action, if you have a line that's really hard to pass and you are coming up here, it's better to consolidate, and then screen, because if price approaches a line that's going to be, and it just flies past it, what's going to happen? It's going to come back and check it and likely overcorrect and go lower, right? That's just how it works with crypto. So honestly, you can see this as the same concept. It looks very, very ready, folks. So much respect for the daily 10. Had already given the weekly 10 respect. I mean, you might have to you can't time crypto, but it's likely going to boil down to likely the 10 EMA, a skim play on the 8. So let's take this off. Honestly, it's probably going to boil down to the 1 hour chart to try to time when the scrap's going to work. I don't think the 10 EMA is going to the 200. I think it's going to be a 1089 play on the 1 hour chart. So it's either going to be what will lead to the pop off is a skim play of the red coming down to the purple, or it gives it gives one more breather here. Let's say, and price comes back down to check this, right? So price, not the EMA. But if price comes down here, the EMA goes below one more time, and then it comes back up because price is going up. The purple line's here. Let's make that purple so you don't have to guess what the hell, Kosa, what the hell are you drawing? I'm not following. And it could boil down to I typically don't trade 1 hour squeeze plays. 4 hour at the bare minimum. I really prefer, leverage I will. But altcoins I don't do that. But it could boil down to it because it's so ready. Like you might have to use a microscope if you're trying to figure out when it's going to happen. And so this would be like my second guess, maybe tied for most probable, is price will hit here, come back up, get stuck in there, and then as the red is coming, bam. So as the red right here is coming above the purple there, price gets stuck in and get a squeeze, and I think that's when it's going to go. Now, is it guaranteed to pop right here? I mean, it'll give some pop, very most likely, but will that be will this have to happen twice, right? Or could it just be another valley? And then what happens is the skim play is what gets it. It's going to be something with these two EMAs. I have a strong feeling. So if you want to study price and how it moves on Verasity, really the 1 hour chart, put on the 10 EMA with the 289 and check out how price not just price, but how price interacts with the 200 or not, and specifically take off price. And the way you do that, see where my cursor is up here? That eyeball, bam, bam. That's where you do it, right there. And you can do it on your phone too. So how price interacts with the 200 and then take price off, and you can view how the 10 interacts with the 89. And when you see that curling up, that means price has gotten squeezed in here or just flew past, right? And so Verasity fans, even though I tell people to get off the 1 hour chart, typically, when people on BPRO, when I told everybody it was the top and it was the exact right day, right? And I had people saying, oh, it's going back up. I kept saying, get off the lower time frames. This is an exception because it's so compressed. It's so compressed. So this is an exception. And so it might be cool for us fans to look at it on the 1 hour chart using the 10, 89, 200 EMA, how the 10 and 89 interact together, and specifically how price itself interacts just with this one here, and how price gets squeezed, here, like squeeze place. So put that back on. See how it's squeezed? Look, check this out. Watch. I mean, can you see this? Price bounced off of here, got stuck in here, and right when the red, kablam. And we do this crap all the time in our community. Like during VIP and crackhead calls, like a lot of what we do is we share, like it's like a classroom. But I'm not necessarily like a professor or something. A lot of times the squeeze plays that we find or setups that we find, it's just people, hey, I found this. Even Ethereum Classic in today's VIP call. Shoot, that looks like a fantastic setup. For example, and I didn't think of that. I don't look at ETC. Anyway, so Verasity fans, check it out on the 1 hour chart. You might really, really enjoy this because it is a special moment where it would be cool to look at lower term timeframes on an altcoin, but typically you need to stay away from it. Now's a cool time to take a look. All right, Trias. Okay, let's save Trias for last because it's the one that's broken out. All right, so weekly scale on Trias. Let's get it, diggity. All right, in my last video, I told you. I said 15, but I think I said between these two lines. I said if you see this go up around these lines, that is a 10 or 20 bag opportunity. But if it happens next week, that's not a good opportunity. It'll probably fly past. But I said this week. So go to that previous video and look at it if you don't believe me. And I might have only said $15. I might have only said that line. And it did go halfway. But regardless, the whole entire point was this week could be an exception to where you essentially, and these are air quotes. So let me do that. So when I say you have to or it's allowed to, it's air quotes, right? Just statistical type of stuff. It has to close closer to that line on a weekly. So if it goes far above this week, well, the closure has to be closer to here. So that means it's a good sell opportunity. But also in the last video, I said Trias could be an exception because of the very beautiful, like honestly, this is one of the most beautiful consolidations under a horizontal and so horizontal mixed with the weekly 10. So this is not an EMA squeeze play. This is an EMA horizontal squeeze play with double respect. Tons of tests of the horizontal, tons. Look at the 10 EMA on the weekly. See the red line, right? Just like so much darn respect. And the 10 is squeezing price. So if you have the horizontal here, you have the EMA here, the rising EMA, which is red, right? Price has been stuck here and it's squeezing it out just like 2 EMAs would. This is a weekly 10 EMA with the horizontal squeeze play, and it's going to be powerful. Like this could lead. So honestly, Trias, I think I've said this before, like I'm getting stupid bullish here. I think it's probable Trias breaks all-time highs with 0 red candles, weekly candles. And it might only take 3 to 4 candles. I don't think it's going to take very long. Might be 2, not counting this one. I'm serious. This what it did here is special. It's a squeeze. It's going to pop. It's going to be vicious. Honestly, I'm not even going to try to bag anything till after all-time highs. I think it's going to fly past it, folks. And I'm not saying this crap for views. I am serious. And from a project fundamental standpoint, as a layer 0, like I get it, it has huge potential. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this off of project fundamentals and I'm saying this from a freaking chart. So if you're a fundamentals person staring at this coin, and that's the bullish part for you, you also have the chart that's bullish. Like this shit is, sorry, I usually don't use cuss words. Sorry. I don't know. It's ready to get. It's going to be well over $100 before the end of the year. Well over. Likely. Yeah, I'm not guaranteeing that, you know, and this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is my technical analysis, some random dude on the internet with a dash shirt on and Bitcoin behind him. But I don't know, like this, like this week might have been the last safe 20 bag opportunity you have in 4 or 5 weeks, which means it's going up too fast. So hodling and just staring at it until Bitcoin, you know, so the way to sell this might be, I mean, obviously origin lines, but what the hell, like it might just fly past origin lines too, right? Might sell too early. It might have to wait until Bitcoin prints bearish divergence on the weekly. So showing some forms of weakness. And this has like 3 to 4, or at least 2 bearish strikes of 4-hour RSI, not the green, but mountains of the white, like there, let me show you. Verasity, honestly, was a perfect example of mountains of RSI. Let's take off the green. So the EMA of this, I think it'll, something like this. So for example, here and here, if this were a higher high in price, right, which I don't think it was in this case. Hold on. Where did this get bullish? Whew. So for example, this would be one strike, one mountain. And so even though this was lower, I think price was higher here on March 26th, higher than March 16th. So let's go March 26th. Yeah, way higher. So look, March 26th, March 16th, way higher. But look, this was way lower. So this might be that my EMA trick, which I stress to my community, but I also have given this on YouTube lots of times too. And this is damn good free information. I've cussed twice now, sorry. I think you might have to wait on my RSI trick. I might not even be comfortable personally using my origin lines to sell this. I think it's going to be that hot. I think you're going to have to wait until the relative strength gets waning enough, because unless it blows off top, but I don't know. This is going to be hard to sell. I'm really, really interested to figure out, or not figure out, but just to see how this goes and to view my performance on when I like try to 10 bag. I'm not going to try to like sell half of this to get more back lower. I typically altcoin season, I do 20 bag. Unless it hits like some crazy line like the top, okay, I will 50 or 80 bag or 100 bag sometimes then. But and this bag might be my first one. Like like this could, I might not feel comfortable selling this crap until it's $174. And actually maybe slightly higher. It might take a little longer. December, it might be $220 before I'm comfortable selling a little bit, because this is a pretty big line for it, origin line wise. But I honestly, this could be $200. This could be over $200 before the end of the year. I wasn't joking, folks. Like in terms of market cap, no, I don't want to sound stupid when I say this. So $1,000 Trias, for example, just wait, just hold on. I'm not saying I think it'll get there necessarily in the bull run, but if you took the market cap of Trias when it's $1,000, it's like 1/50th the size of Cardano still. It's not that big. $1,000 might seem like a lot, but market cap is honestly the only measurement of how big a company is and how overvalued it is versus another. The price doesn't matter because each have different amounts of coins. It's market cap divided by coins. The US dollar value, I swear, it doesn't even matter how many times I'm going to say that in this video. It doesn't even matter unless it's time to sell, obviously, and you're trading versus US dollar pairing. I promise you it doesn't matter. So $1,000 Trias, with the idea that price doesn't even matter, that market cap isn't big. It would still be peanuts compared to a Cardano, peanuts compared to a Polkadot. It would still be a mid-large cap. It would be on page 2, CoinMarketCap, maybe page 3, right? Now, to go from a micro cap to like 2.5 billion market cap on your first try, it's not likely. So I think $1,000 Trias this bull run is very unlikely. However, can it be done? Hell yes. Verge went from under 1 million cap to 2.1 billion cap, and that made a lot of millionaires. A lot of millionaires. Like freaking 16-year-old kid millionaires. Not all of them sold the top, but it stayed up there a while. Past 2.1, it stayed above 2 billion for like 4 weeks. People had plenty of time to sell their millions of dollars made from like $200 in. But it doesn't happen very often. I think it did 1,400x. X, not ROI, X. It's very uncommon, and it's mostly because John McAfee talked about it. Rest in peace. So $1,000 Trias first, the market cap isn't that big. It would still be on page 2 or 3 coin market cap. Number 2, US dollar price doesn't matter. That's why Cardano is not cheap. I personally think Cardano, even though I love trading it, I think it's the most overvalued asset, even more than tulips, in the history of the world. I really do believe that. I do. It's almost double the size of Ford Motor Company, people. Has 0 sales. Has 0 revenue. Right? Okay? So for Trias just to get to 1/50th the size of something with 0 revenue, keeps its lights on with investor money. I think it's possible. My targets for this, my upper end is $700 end of year, not end of year, in a bull run, which could be May. And my mid aggressive so that'd be my upper end, mid scale 500, lower. Honestly, my lower end of bull run targets for this is like 350. Okay, so you want to see what it looks like on this chart? That's not that high. That is not this freaking high. Look, watch. Watch. Okay, so look at this chart and pick a line. Like, what would be way too high? Like, do you think it'd be unreasonable for Trias to go way past the top line? I do. My origin lines work. It's very rare. Okay. All right. So what's a reasonable line? Well, if we're thinking this is an extended bull run, right? This is May. Or no, shit, this is April. If Trias just hits this dang line by April, the middle of the chart, that's $1,000. This is your $1,000 line. And it's the line with the most activity, relatively. Look, I'm telling you, it can happen. I don't think it's statistically likely because I think some pump group made this a little bit too hot, right? And so, therefore, this should be more like the top line, which is often hit in a parabolic move. But I think this could be your top line. It could come up shy. I think it's statistically likely it will come up a little shy. But I mean, this line got a lot of activity, more than everything. It's like the master line. I think price will just be attracted towards it. In April, that's $1,000. Look, that is freaking reasonable on this chart. Look, it's just that. That's it. That's $1,000. It can happen, people. I'm telling you. The chart allows for it. Market cap allows for it. And that's all that matters. Y'all just got timified. I'm not always a stupid bullish. My end of bull run guess for Trias is between $500 and $700 for the record. Later.